There are two types of variables, categorical variables and quantitative variables. In this video, we are going to look at descriptive statistics for categorical variables. What is a statistic? More specifically, what is a descriptive statistic? A descriptive statistic is a numerical index of a characteristic of the data. The purpose of a descriptive statistic is to quantify a property of the data set. Here's an example. This is a picture of 15 blocks. If we are studying blocks, a block is the unit of analysis. One variable we may be interested in for these blocks is the block color. Color is a categorical variable. A simple statistic for a categorical variable is to simply count how many units are in each category of the categorical variable. For these blocks, we can count how many blocks there are of each color. We call these counts frequencies. Here's a little table that shows us the frequency of occurrence of each color. Keeping in mind that a descriptive statistic is simply a numerical index that tells us something about the characteristics of the data, let's look at 4 basic descriptive statistics that we can use for categorical variables. Sample size, usually denoted with the letter N, is the number of units in the data set. When we are analyzing the data from 15 blocks, the sample size is 15. Frequency, often denoted with the letter F, is the number of units in a specified category or class. If we have 3 red blocks, the frequency of red is 3. Proportion, often denoted with the letter P, is the relative amount of the sample size that fits in a specified category or class. We can calculate proportion by dividing the frequency by the sample size. For example, if we have 15 blocks and 3 of them are red, the proportion of blocks that are red is 3 divided by 15, or 0.2. Percentage, like proportion, is a relative amount of the sample size that fits in a specified category or class. The difference between proportion and percentage is that for proportion, we take the entire sample as one whole, whereas for percentage, we take the entire sample as 100%. Thus, to convert from a proportion to a percentage, we simply multiply by 100 and add a percent sign to show that we are referring to a percentage. A frequency distribution displays the values of the variable and the frequency, proportion, or percentage of each value in the data set. That is, a frequency distribution associates the different categories of the variable with the descriptive statistics for categorical variables. We use the term distribution because we are looking at how the data are distributed across the various values of the variable. Here's an example. The total sample size is 298. There are 3 possible categories: education, sociology, and psychology. The frequency distribution shows us the frequency, proportion, or percentage of the data in each of these categories. This is a nice frequency distribution table because it is showing us all 3 of these statistics along with the sample size, which is the 4th statistic that we learned about today. Descriptive statistics help us understand our data set, and understanding our data set is an important first step to conducting research so that we can answer questions that are of interest to us.